country with whatever we want to do into the North American Union that's a bunch of foreign offshore globalists wanting to totally destroy us on record. And then they went on to say Obama isn't going to act like he said he would, because that was all a feint. They already acted in January, legalizing almost all the illegals, 5 years to even 3 years to 5 years, even have a deportation hearing. Totally fake, just legalizing whoever can come here, loading them on government-paid-for buses, and shipping them to Democratic Party facilities where the Democrats get $6,000 to $7,000 per group of 3 people to be put in each house as a new form of income to the churches and Democratic Party operatives to literally house and sponsor the invasion, and then set up another house with that new group within 1 year to then bring the next phase in to those homes, and then you get another home and you move them in. And that's the plan, and no one can even see it happening in plain view. A military asymmetrical program. Within 5 years, it will empty out the populations of Guatemala, Nicaragua, and El Salvador. Mainstream news. That's the Congressional Budget Office looked at Obama's amnesty plan that he's done by fiat would empty out the entire populations of 3 Latin American countries, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Guatemala. The boldness. This is 21st century warfare. And it's to bring the country down and turn us into something like Guatemala, politically. And the elites are all in big government districts, armed fortresses, while we're all out here literally bankrupt on our knees. But don't worry, there'll be government handouts, just enough to keep you under their control, like Chavez in Venezuela. Whew! I mean, you talk about diabolical precision. Now, I'm just giving you 30 seconds of one thing I sat there, because I watched almost an hour, 45 minutes of it. And I had to see the drug ads and I see all the programming. Now, they think we're so disconnected from reality that they're saying imminent terror attack in El Paso at Fort Bliss. We're sending our reporters there right now. It could happen within days to weeks. Prepare for it. Going to happen, and the border is wide open, and they've basically sealed the base. Feds warn of imminent terror threat on U.S. border. Sources say ISIS operatives will use vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices in attacks. And again, if an attack comes, it'll be a real attack, or it could be provocateur. It could be totally staged, and they just claim some ISIS group that have some NSA, or FBI-produced video come out, as we've caught them doing before with the CIA, putting the government logo, the Pentagon logo, in the same video layer as the Al-Qaeda logo, with the grandson of the former head of the ADL, who's Jewish, supposedly commanding Al-Qaeda. I mean, why does anyone even buy this? It's just so ridiculous. And so that's what we're facing, is they may drive in some crazy jihadis right across the border with a dump truck full of, 2 tons of C4, and it blows up a third of the military base, like the Beirut attack on the embassy. You got an area of the U.S. embassy overrun and taken over in Tripoli. You got U.S. drone strikes in Somalia, targets al-Shabaab leader. Scores killed as Boko Haram insurgents overrun Nigerian town. 5,000 flee for their lives. War propaganda works. Large majority of Americans now want military action in Syria and Iraq to, quote, take out ISIS, but all they're going to do is end up guaranteed bombing, quote, other people too. We think the Iraqi government fired a missile. We think Assad did it. And the public's so dumb, they'll go, yeah, that Assad, when Al-Qaeda has been there for 4 years attacking him. Here's that story by Steve Watson. War propaganda works. Large majority of Americans now want military action in Syria, Iraq. Complete turnaround on attitudes from 1 year ago. And it's a 180 turn in the polls from 70+% being against it to the other way around. Some polls 60% to 20%. So there you go. Meanwhile, get this. In the UK, if you say you don't like open borders, they will come and arrest you saying it's a thought crime. I'm not kidding. Look it up. If you say the word homosexual, they say that's hurtful. And they will have you arrested like Robin Page, the BBC presenter. But the jihadis are allowed to be on TV calling for blowing the government up. UK government proposes forced de-radicalization of returning jihadis. Proposals agreed by Conservative Party and Liberal Democrats to give them a training course when they come back. I'm not joking. They come back from chopping Christians' heads off, blowing up churches, blowing up non-radical Muslim mosques, and we're going to give you a government course. That's because they work for them. The head of the 7/7 bombings that came out was MI6. The U.S. FBI even admitted that on Fox News. Okay? It's run by the globalists. I'm trying to explain that again. And when they build up a police state to fight al-Qaeda here in America, ISIS, it will be used on the American people, period.
My Magic Mud is a tooth whitening powder that removes plaque and detoxifies your mouth. It's safe for your enamel, giving you a beautiful polish and a dentist-like clean after every use. My Magic Mud is also the perfect remedy for pain caused by sensitivity. It strengthens your teeth and gums for a strong, healthy smile. The ingredients are 100% natural and it's safe for children. Simply brush with My Magic Mud right before bedtime for a cleaning you can count on. Visit mymagicmud.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Next to water and food, you need a safe, storable fuel supply for your preparedness needs. Spare fuel is the answer. Spare fuel can be used in any gas-powered vehicle or generator. Spare fuel is perfect for any unforeseen out-of-gas emergencies. Unlike gasoline, spare fuel is safe to store with your other supplies, and it can be stored for many years. Go to GetSpareFuel.com for special pricing. That's GetSpareFuel.com.
Our big story. Gun owners react as politicians continue to ban high-capacity magazines state by state.
I think that these weapons ought to be stopped.
Magazine restrictions have already happened in 9 states. Staffed with formal special operations personnel, GunMagWarehouse.com is the only company that specializes in gun magazines. GunMagWarehouse.com has the largest selection of the magazines you should stock up on. Go now to GunMagWarehouse.com before it happens in your state. Get it before you regret it.
People put up with a federal government openly run by foreign banks. Alex Jones here, back live. Thanks for joining us. Who publicly gives weapons and support to al-Qaeda to attack Assad, to attack Egypt, to attack Libya. And the jihadis are so out of control, they go and attack the U.S. substation and kill the ambassador. Our military is ordered to stand down so that al-Qaeda can get the 3 warehouses of weapons, including At that one warehouse, folks, they believe over 10,000 MPADs. Another 5,000 they got other places. 15,000 surface-to-air missiles. Can you imagine what Al-Qaeda can do with 15,000 MPADs? One person with an MPAD could create an airliner disaster. You blow them up on takeoff or landing. And these guys have 15,000 of them. And our southern border is wide open. We broke, folks. And I'm ashamed to even say that for our country, that InfoWars had to do it, that they pull up in buses and from Mexico. The Border Patrol is ordered to load them on buses. Democratic Party operatives come and give them their vouchers to go anywhere in the country they want to the safe houses. It's such a joke that when I fly, they want me to take my shoes off, go through a naked body scanner, but on record, it was released 2 weeks ago, the illegals have to show no ID. They get profiled that they're from Mexico or Latin America, and they go right through. I mean, that is such bull. But of course, we're chumps. We put up with it, so we will live under it. We're jokes, people. We put up with police checkpoints, police blood draws. Oh, the drunk drivers. We have to get rid of your Fourth Amendment. Bull. And I don't blame the police, even though they're following unconstitutional orders, because that's pointless. Blame the legislatures, blame the city councils, blame the feds, blame the standardization of policing so we have the same policing in the U.S. they have in England or Australia. It's global, standardized. The same global cloud, the same global surveillance, the same global NSA, the same global Gardasil. They gave Gardasil in Japan and India, and it killed so many people, both countries banned it. Not here. They double down and go, now all the boys need to take it at age 11. There's no deaths from boys from papillomavirus. 4,000 women die a year from it. That's one of the rarest cancers out of 315 mil people. 4,000 die a year. And usually they have an autoimmune disease like AIDS, and that's how it kills you. You've got to basically have AIDS for papillomavirus. You know papillomavirus strains are in dirt, and so you fall on your elbows when you're a kid in the dirt, and you get warts on your elbows. That's a papillomavirus, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to go take a shot that's known to kill people because, oh, my gosh, there's a sexually transmitted form of it. Oh, my gosh, how scary. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I mean, this is how stupid it is. Our borders are open. Al-Qaeda is set to attack. Our reporters are going down there to cover it. And when Al-Qaeda blows up Fort Bliss or something or blows up a school, I'm going to lose my freedom. My children are. You are. And the whole end game is about taking your pension funds and running your life. So all of you that go along with this, go play your fantasy football or just say I'm wrong or, oh, that guy's a radical. I'm not a radical. This is all in black and white right now. They are escalating the war with Russia. Of course the Russians have troops in eastern Ukraine. They're battling for their oil infrastructure. And you've got NATO and they're trying to start World War III, and now Putin says he can take Kiev in 2 weeks. Vladimir Putin warns European leaders. I haven't even gotten into the news yet. We're going to take your phone calls, too. Talk about political correctness, though. We can't have any border now because it's racist. It turned out in England, they had giant Muslim pedophile rings, trafficking small children, literal rape rooms, but nothing could be done because it's politically incorrect. See, it's a religion of mind control.
In the near future.
When you realize how fake it all is, the football, the basketball.
Alert. Security alert. This is Homeland Security. Analysis. InfoWars building independent media operations.
You let the worst people get control and tell us that we are the ones responsible.
Prime directive. Discredit Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
A popular conspiracy theory talk show called InfoWars.
Alex Jones is now in an Austin jail.
These people are assaulting us.
Targeting of patriots engaged.
They are never going to stop. They're never going to deviate from their program until we stop them.
Block free iPhone app at Infowars.com. Block free podcast and video feed. Imperative. Destroy Prison Planet TV.
You gotta set your eye on the enemy, not worry about what propaganda they put out. Intellectually, it's begun and you can feel it.